How's it going, everybody? It's the Shirtless Chef coming at you with an episode of How to Grill. So, let's roll the title. So today on How to Grill, we're going to be making lamb chops. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to go more the Mediterranean side and do marinated lamb chops with couscous as a starch. I'm going to try and figure it as a grain. I'm going to try and figure out what my third ingredient is as our vegetable. But let's start off with our lamb. So what I have are small lamb loin chops. And what we're going to do is we're going to marinate them. So the marinade is going to be very simple. It is lemon juice. Yes, I'm using pre-made lemon juice instead of doing it myself. Thyme and rosemary. Some salt and garlic. So this is going to be kind of odd, but it should work. Oh, and I've got a pepper grinder that we're going to add some pepper to our This is going to be pepper, fresh ground pepper. But to start off with, we're going to take our lamb, get it out of the package. And I got these from work. The reason why I even am attempting this recipe is because lamb was on sale this last week. So the first thing we're going to do is take our lamb, place it in a ceramic dish. And apparently there's dog hair in this dish. That's what you end up with when you live with two basset hounds. But these are 4 small lamb chops. Go ahead and show you the size of one of them. They're relatively small, but there's going to be a lot added to this. So by the time you have the sauce, our couscous and our vegetable will do pretty well overall. If I had thought about it, I probably would have picked up some asparagus, because that would have made this a really good meal. But for our marinade, we're going to start off with some oil. Wrong bottle. How many bottles of oil do we have in this house? using this bottle of oil. I do not quite know what oil we're using. So we're going to go ahead and kind of coat these in oil. And we're going to coat top and bottom of the lamb. Try and make sure we get the oil all over it so that way it marinates completely. And we're going to try and let this marinate. I'm going to try and let it marinate for at least an hour and a half or 2 hours. So that's just what I'm doing. You don't have to marinate it for that long. Half an hour to an hour should be good. But now we're going to kind of add our herbs. And these are dried herbs. So what I'm going to try and do, let's see. We're just going to kind of grab our herbs and just kind of crunch them up. Not a technical term, we're just kind of attempting to kind of grind them up a little bit. And then we're going to take our thyme and do the same thing. Just kind of grind it up in our fingers. Thyme is a little bit easier to do this with than rosemary. That's really more herbs than I wanted, but it'll work. So there's our herbs. We're going to add a little bit of garlic. Some lemon. Just a smidge. Because we don't really want to overpower the lamb itself. Now some salt. some on the lamb itself. And some pepper. Flip them over. And the reason why I'm worrying about what I'm using in this is because this is also going to kind of be cooked down a little bit. And we're going to put this as our sauce to the side. Now we're going to kind of do the same thing to the other side with the garlic. A little bit of pepper. A little bit of salt. Kind of run it back through the sauce again. Make sure we get everything coated. And that is our marinade. And we will see this back in probably an hour or two. But until then, we're just going to wait. We're going to put the lamb in the fridge to sit and marinate because it kind of needs to be kept cold, and then we'll bring it back up to room temperature. So I will see you in about 2 hours or so. Stay tuned. So we are back. Our lamb has been marinating in the fridge. We're now at the grill to grill our lamb. So the first thing that we're actually going to do, I can get some of our lamb shuffled over. Lamb doesn't really take all that long. Just making sure I'm correct on things. About 7 minutes. So our start is actually going to be our side dish. So we've got a pot with a lid that will go on this infrared burner. We're going to add 1.5 cups of water, and 1 cup of pearl couscous. And we're just going to kind of stir that for a second. Now our lamb isn't going to take very long. Maybe 3 or 4 minutes. So our biggest time constraint be about 7 minutes for our lamb. The biggest thing is trying to make sure this pot will boil. I'm going to kind of scrape our grill down again. I was going to scrape down our grill a second time. May just run over it just to get the other bits as this heats up. And we're really going to just use one zone of heat here. We're just going to use this part of the grill and have this part be for our finished lamb. So, this thing is waiting for the pot to boil. We'll go ahead and kind of start our lamb and get it cooking. So it's not going to take very long. Like I said to begin with, about 3 to 4 minutes on a side, so about 7 minutes total. And all you're really looking for is to get it done. Now, our marinade to get our pot to a boil is going to ultimately go into our pot. Feels like we've got our heat together, so just turn these over a second time in our baking dish. So that way we get all of our marinade, which was thyme and was rosemary, garlic, lemon, and oil. Grill is hot, so we're going to go ahead . Place our lamb. Just kind of in a line. Now our sauce is not done yet. This was the thyme, the rosemary, and the lemon, or just the rosemary and the lemon and the oil, and some pepper and salt. But this is going into our pot here to add some more flavor to our couscous. Now all we do is really just wait. So, lamb is more traditionally a Greek style food. Give me 1 second, I'm going to adjust the camera. There we go. I just needed to adjust the camera a bit so we could actually see the grill and I can show you what I'm doing. So we're just slowly letting these lamb chops cook. What I'm going to do is I am going to time this. So based on what I can understand, it's about 3 to 4 minutes on a side. So 7 minutes total to cook lamb. Our couscous smells like it's coming up to temperature and boiling. I'm going to grab our spoon and stir through that. And the oven mitt. Okay. It's slowly getting there. The other thing that we have is some leftover coleslaw. That's going to be our third item for this dinner. So, got a minute left before we're going to turn our lamb. Take the lid off our pot. Shuffle our lid over. Our couscous is about done, so I'll kind of stir back through it again. heat off here. There's our timer. We are going to turn these. Oh yeah, those are looking good. It's already turning out good. And this is actually quite quick and easy. Aside from our marinating, everything else we've done has been very quick. The one thing I am going to do is to add a little more flavor to our couscous. I'm going to take what was left of our marinade. It's about to sound very strange that I'm doing this. I'm going to turn the heat back a little bit. For this was the lemon and garlic, rosemary, and we're going to add that as a sauce to our couscous. Now, if you notice, I didn't wipe off the marinade off the lamb. There's a reason for that. We've gone to the trouble of marinating the lamb. Why would we want to take our marinade that we've worked so hard for and take it back off? Oh, yeah. And lamb is a fattier cut, especially lamb chops. This on its side just so it can kind of brown a bit. But this has been looks like we're almost there, folks. One more second. And lamb is generally a fattier meat. We'll take our spoon and stir in all that marinade from the lamb. Taste. Looks good. So we're going to go ahead and take our lamb chops off and move them to our plates. So I left my tongs over with the plates. Our 2 lamb chops per person. We're going to go ahead and cut the heat off because there's going to be enough heat left over that if we have to pop the lamb back on, we can. But I don't see that being a problem. One last thing I need to do is temp this. Give me 1 second. We are back. Sorry I had to go find an instant rate thermometer. But we are going to go ahead and temp these. It's 131. And what we really need is about 135. In your pockets. This one is 140. So this one is slightly overcooked. Lamb is a fickle meat, so that is 130. And remember, they're going to kind of continue to cook once you take them off the grill. Looks like it's clear. It's pretty good. So, let's plate. I'm going to pull our 2 plates over. close this, lay our plates up here. And now we're going to add our couscous. A spoon. I wish I had thought about adding a vegetable to this. Probably asparagus would have been nice, but I didn't think about that this afternoon. But this works. So, part of the reason why I'm trying to cook this in this way is that this is more of a Greek Mediterranean, and I've lived with health problems for a good portion of my life, and part of it includes living with food allergies and trying to be allergen friendly. So I started trying to cook more Greek Mediterranean style, and lamb is a good portion of their diet. So this was one way to cook it. I've still got more lamb chops so I can show other ways. But for the Shirtless Chef, this has been how to cook with lamb chops on a bed of couscous. Have a great day. I will see you next time. One last item on our plating is some leftover coleslaw from the other night. So I will get something. This is just kind of a first attempt with lamb, so there will be another attempt, and next time our veg will be asparagus. So with the exception of our slaw, this would be pretty much what you would get at a high-end restaurant. So I've already finished everything, so have a great day. I will see you next time.